What?
What? Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to the IQ podcast. We are infinitequality.live on the web if you want to check us out. We have a Discord community that is now open to all content creators. So if you guys are looking for a place to come and chat about your content, your stream, your everything that you do on the internet, and you want people to hang out with that are maybe a little like you and maybe a little not like you, if you'd like some extra content advice from people that are also trying to make things work, our community Discord is actually a good place to get started. And obviously these podcasts. This week I have no name on my
Yeah, I noticed that.
on my screen.
Who are you?
I'll get that sorted out. Don't worry. So this week I'm joined by Snazzy, and I'm the Sunny Machine. So Snazzy, say hi, Snazzy bastard.
Hello. I didn't realize I was going first, but okay.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Hi. How's it going?
Everybody's going first. Eat your meats.
Oh shit.
Welcome back. And
Hello.
we've got Hiley and Pickles as always.
Hello.
And yeah, so I'm just getting my camera sorted out. Of course,
The camera's fine. You look good.
No, I just need my name there. I just forgot to put it.
Professional.
I just
Oh
used the
well,
wrong.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Well,
the
yeah.
wrong scene.
That might be important for people to know.
Yeah. Okay, so episode 31. We've done so many of these together, friends. It feels good. I'm glad we're all here. And then Snazzy, I can't multitask.
Just keep introducing Snazzy over and over again.
Yeah,
That's
just
fine.
keep introducing me. I would never ask you to multitask. That's,
Hey, Snazzy,
it's actually.
say hi.
Is that better?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Isn't it? I read somewhere.
I can
forget
multitask,
where.
but just not right now.
Factoid. That it's actually like multitasking doesn't actually exist.
Oh, sure.
You're just oscillating
Play
from
piano.
one task to another really quickly. So
I don't know.
True.
yeah.
Drums and piano are somewhat multitasking, I'd say. This is as close as you could get.
They're the
I've
same
heard
task,
drums
though.
are just counting really, really well.
Anyway, so this week we're going to be chatting about some of the new features that have launched and some of the old features on Twitch. I kind of want to dig in a little bit. We've had a lot of people ask questions over the past couple of years about, and a general discussion topic for our community has been the mature setting on Twitch and whether or not you should use it, who should be using it, who shouldn't be using it, all of that business. So honestly, this is going to be probably either really fast or the entire episode, right? I feel like we should try to dig into this topic more than just stay on the surface and talk about the whys and the whats behind all of this stuff with this setting, because I feel like it has a bigger impact than people realize. So while we discuss it, I'd like to encourage everybody to kind of, I don't know, think about who you're speaking to and why you're saying what you're saying, and try to make sure that it's a little clear, because on the surface level, it'd be very easy to just be like, my stance is just no, don't use the mature setting and not dig into it. And that's, I mean, if you want a simple answer, the podcast is over. Don't use the mature setting.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah. But let's actually talk about it, dig into it a lot more than that. I think it's important to kind of talk about why we should or shouldn't be using the mature setting. So just for context, the mature setting on Twitch is something, whether you know it or not, that may or may not be impacting how viewers interact with your stream and also your own mindset, right? So the mature setting is something you could toggle in the Twitch backend that lets you have kind of a warning when people click on your stream that says this streamer has indicated that their stream is for mature audiences, you know, and then you have to click a button that says I agree that I'm mature, or whatever mature means anyway. And I think a lot of streamers use this setting to kind of gatekeep a little bit younger people from their stream. And so the question, I think the first good question we can kind of dig into is, should you, no matter what your content looks like on Twitch, gatekeep younger people from watching your stream? Is that something anyone should be doing?
If you want to.
If you want to. I was going to say, like, that's a personal preference.
If you want to.
Listen, we can stop being around the bush. I'm the one who uses.
You have the mature setting.
I'm pretty sure I do. Unless
you
unless
do.
it got
No, you
unless
do.
it got disabled,
Snazzy,
it should
you
be
are
on.
so
You do.
wholesome in
Yeah.
general. Why?
Yes.
But I also
sometimes-
talk about I also talk about penises and sex.
So
and
what?
stuff on my
13-year-olds
stream
10-year-olds
occasionally.
should know what a penis
Well,
is.
okay,
Like,
let's stick to
that's ridiculous.
13-year-olds. 13-year-olds.
I
No, but I'm
agree.
just-
I agree. They should, but I don't feel comfortable talking to 15-year-olds about that kind of stuff. It's a personal thing for me, right?
It's gonna happen anyway, though.
We'll get to that in a minute, but yes, I do gatekeep to a slightly older crowd, but it's also partially because I feel like I relate better to older viewers. I feel like somebody who's like really young, I'm talking, like 12, 13, 15, really under the age of 18, honestly, if I'm being real, even then sometimes. It's like I feel like I don't relate to those viewers as much, just because I am older. Like
my
I'm
argument
30, I'm
against
30
this.
so
My
Yeah, go
argument
ahead.
against this would be, Snazzy, you would be a good influence on them. And so you're looking at it only on how it impacts you rather than how
it's selfish. I agree.
you
I agree.
impact others. And I actually feel like it's not a great idea for you to gatekeep your stream behind this mature setting because there's nothing about your stream that a 13-year-old can't handle. And we have to speak in those terms because Twitch's youngest audience is supposed to be 13. So
You're not supposed to be on here if you're
do
not.
you remember
13.
being 13?
No.
Look, Snazzy, I'm just saying, some of the people that we've kicked out of your stream, we have no idea how old they were
No, we don't.
anyway. And
No,
you
we
can
don't.
just, like, click the button
No,
no matter how old you are. So
It's
there
like
could
if you
have
go
been-
to certain adult websites on the internet and they ask you to make sure you're 18, right? Yeah, who's gonna
Oh, yeah.
check?
And
It's one of those.
that's completely my point. Is like it almost is like a moth to a flame. If you if you put the mature on, they're like, oh, they're gonna talk about butts and stuff. I'm gonna sit on this.
Wait, hold on. Am I actually attracting younger viewers by doing
You
that? I
might
didn't think
be.
about it that way.
You might
You
be.
might be.
Honestly.
You
Damn,
might
it's
be.
counterproductive.
It
I
might
think
be.
it very well could be. I think that, sometimes if I see that mature setting as someone who has a kid, right, so I might be actually a little bit more cautious clicking on someone's mature stream in the off chance that my daughter comes by while I'm listening to it and hears it, right? So, and of course that's my responsibility. But I think the ultimate purpose or the ultimate use of a mature stream title is kind of lost because there's no actual repercussions for someone that I'm aware of. And please correct me if I'm wrong. Like if someone who is identified as 14 or 15 on Twitch, they can still click into a mature stream, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what is
no
the actual
mechanic.
repercussion there?
there isn't one.
There isn't one. It's again, it's a warning, just like all the websites that say "Are you 18?" It's there to. I think it's more than anything. It's there to provide legal cover for Twitch. Probably, I'm guessing.
I
in
don't
some
even know
sort of
that
way.
it's that for
I think
that.
it does, though.
I mean, probably just for Twitch, but I mean, nobody's gonna follow up on that, and nobody's gonna
You
like
hope, right,
sue.
yeah.
Like it's so that somebody can't sue Twitch for their kid going into one of those streams. Functionally, that's all it is. It doesn't matter if we use it or not.
So it doesn't do much in the way it's not measurable to figure out what it's doing, positive or negative, with viewers. We're just assuming a lot. But I will tell you that it doesn't really make sense to me to have it turned on because all you're really doing is identifying yourself to Twitch that you think you are too hot for TV or too hot for Twitch or like just a little bit edgy enough. And I don't know that it's a good idea to flag your account and flag your content that way towards Twitch
Well,
or
and
towards
this
the
is
general
probably-
public.
Well, and this is probably the best argument against having that tag on is that there are base rules for Twitch that even mature quote unquote streams have to
Yeah.
adhere to. No nudity, no sex, none of that stuff. So like really to me the biggest thing that makes the mature setting defunct is that Twitch has a base setting
Right.
or base rules that you can't break anyway.
Yeah.
So
It's almost too redundant, right?
It's definitely redundant, and again, as I said, that's why it feels like it's just a personal thing.
And then
to
you
me.
also have the impact of the viewer now has to click on your stream, watch an ad, then click a mature button thing before they can ever watch your stream, whatever order that goes in. But there's a lot of like things already in between new viewer and you, and I don't know that another disclaimer and another button is a good idea, especially since even the chat, right? The first time, even chats like Snazzy in your chat the other day, I had to accept your chat rules. Like, I'm like a
they
mod
update 'em or something, right?
I'm
like, it's weird. 'Cause
like,
in theory, isn't it? I think that's the same thing with the mature filter, isn't it? Like once you click on it, you're not supposed to get that pop up again.
I
know what the
I
chat
see it all
rules,
the time,
once you,
so I don't know.
Once
Per
you
channel.
accept it, you're not supposed to like see it again.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
doesn't
per
really work
channel
well,
unless you
though.
like refresh your cache or your cookies or whatever.
Yeah. I guess if you deleted all your cookies, yeah.
Or Twitch resets their settings on their
Or
end.
Twitch resets something on their end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will interject. I think Pickles, you bring up a good point, and I have done this occasionally. If I have a game that I know that's pretty graphic that I might be engaging in, sometimes I will pop on the mature filter for that, frankly. And I think it's more just to alert my current community in a way that what we're doing today is something that's a little bit more racy from a gaming perspective. But I don't know if other people employ that that decision-making process there. Very few games do I play that I feel need that warning, but occasionally I'll be like, ooh, I know I'm playing, Outlast or something. Like, okay, I might put the mature filter on this one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you have children, right? Let's say you let your supervise your 12-year-old watching Twitch. Like you probably still don't want them to maybe watch like God of War or something, right?
God of War's not bad.
I mean, but there's some pretty brutal scenes in God of War, right? And then
I don't know. This is where it
Outlast
gets
is another
iffy.
one.
What is the mature setting? What is it for? Is it for violence? Like,
Could be.
we're all in the United
It could
States,
be.
so our perspective is going to be very different from people in Europe. Like, they don't need the mature setting for Witcher 3 because of booba, right?
Booba.
But we
Yeah,
in the
no.
U.S. are like, oh, geez, and so this just depends on the part of the world that you're in.
I feel like most of those kinds of games already have those settings anyway. Like most of those
That's
games
true.
have like a setting you could toggle that'll tone it down a little bit, as it were.
Some of them do, yeah.
Some of them forcefully
them
too.
do. Yeah.
Speaking of The Witcher had a really hilarious in the first game. It had this weird mini game where you collected like cards from people you betted, and it was the weirdest thing because in the like the upgrade, like the enhanced edition of it, it's censored automatically. But like in the original version, no, it was straight up booba. It was hilarious the choices they made.
I don't know. I think the mature setting needs to be. You need to have a really good reason to turn it on, and I don't think your reason is good enough, Snazzy. I think you should turn it off. And
I agree.
I think anybody who's just this is the problem is Snazzy's mindset is very common on Twitch. People just it's so ambiguous. You've got this option that Twitch is like, hey, if you think your stream is too mature, you better turn this thing on. And so then you feel kind of backed into a corner a little bit. And you're like, well, we talked about penis pumps on my stream the other day.
Sounds about right.
Is this now explicit content? I don't think so. Because I don't think necessarily a discussion about a topic, which is what you tend to lean towards, Snazzy. You're not crass for the sake of being crass, and you're not making jokes that are inappropriate for the most part. These things just happen because the way your content is. People discuss things on your channel. They tend
True.
to. Your channel's very topical, and if
True.
it's in that way, I'd say you don't need to. I think that would be healthy for a younger audience, to be honest. That's the kind of exposure they need to those kinds of topics.
And you're right, and that's the calculus that that I've ran previously. But and I agree with you. Like the line, right? Like what is mature, is one of those things that's subjective. Like sure, you have the baseline that Twitch says don't do this, right? Don't show body parts. Don't show intercourse. All that that normal stuff that we kind of all agree. Like yes, I would not want young people seeing this on my channel, right?
I
But
guess.
then, like,
point-
beyond that, like, what counts as mature?
The point is, the mature tag doesn't stop anybody from getting in there, though.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about whether,
True.
like, how to define mature. We're talking about whether or not the mature tag is helpful or harmful. And
Yeah.
despite any kind of thing that you have on your stream, like, it's not going to stop anybody from going in.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. But some of the examples that are talked about in chat, the pump thing, for example, can be discussed in a very medical, non-explicit way, frankly.
Yeah.
Right?
Clinical
And
manner,
that's
yeah.
the thing. It's not even necessarily the content, it's also the intention of that content and how it's delivered. Right? That is a medical device, technically. Right? We're taught about it in healthcare school.
I mean, it's
I'm
against
just saying.
TOS. It's against TOS to talk about, like, explicit sexual activities in detail.
Absolutely.
Right? Not to just talk about a thing existing.
Yeah.
Exactly. So unfortunately, it's one of those things that we can't really know that line because that line hasn't been explicitly designated, right? So whose responsibility is it? That's where it gets really tricky. Is it really the content creator's responsibility to determine if you're still working within TOS, what's mature and what's not? I don't think that is our responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
And listen, I agree with you. Like, I'm a big believer that, like, if you believe that there is rampant, mature topics on Twitch, then probably you shouldn't let your young child use it. There are many options you could set that will prevent kids from accessing websites, right? You could add
Yeah.
Twitch to that
That's
list,
a
or you
whole
can
other
even
thing.
add you can add specific channels to the list, even probably. I'm betting with the settings. So it's one of those things where I feel like in the end the biggest argument for using it is that it just gives a heads up to people. Like, if somebody's coming in and they do have a child who's watching, they go back, oh, the stream is mature, and there might be something here that I don't want the child to see, so they may have to pay closer attention, right? It's just a way of warning. It's a warning.
Yeah, but I guess my argument is, like, why does it lie on us, right? Why is that something that we have to feel responsible for? That's like if you were putting something on RedTube or something, right? Like, it's not your responsibility as the person posting that video on this site that has age restrictions and content restrictions to gatekeep who is watching. That is the website's responsibility, right?
Yep.
And the
It's
parents'
not our
responsibility.
responsibility.
Yeah. Agree.
True.
So, I mean, you create the content that you want people to see. I am a very non-explicit content creator in almost every sense of the word. I rarely curse even on stream. But, if someone is doing that, if someone is pushing that line but staying within TOS, they shouldn't have to feel that responsibility to add some sort of warning or something, because they're still functioning within the realm of TOS that Twitch does not designate, like, well, for the 13 to 18-year-olds, this is the TOS. For the 18 and plus, this is the TOS. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's not our responsibility.
Also, like, if you're streaming a lot, the hope is that you are discovered, and the bigger you get, the less control you have over this whole thing of who watches you, regardless of whether or not that mature tag is there. So just imagine yourself as, like, a massive streamer. I mean, really? Is that button really important anymore? From that perspective, it's going to do more harm than good in that circumstance, no matter what kind of streamer you are.
Well, for somebody that's really large, that might just be a thing where it's a legal thing, where if somebody does decide that they're going to be salty and come after you, you can be like, well, I clearly told your kid not to.
No,
to
again,
come.
that's not on the
I don't even
streamer.
think it's on that level. It's them suing
Not on the
Twitch,
streamer.
not the streamer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not the streamer, it's the website.
yeah.
If you were falling within terms of service of the website, the consumer is reading those terms of service, agreeing to those terms of service. It is the website's responsibility. It is the consumer's responsibility.
They're
It's not
definitely
the person.
agreeing to it. They're definitely agreeing to them. Whether they're reading them is a separate.
If you have a moral concern, absolutely. If you're like, well, I just want to like warn people, it makes me feel better. Absolutely, I totally understand that. That's totally fine. But from like a true like legal cover your butt sort of perspective, terms of service covers that. It
Yeah.
is the website's responsibility, is not the content's responsibility.
Yeah.
As long as you're falling within the terms of service of the website that you're posting the content to.
I feel like this is very similar to the whole like you know how some people have their rules set up, so you click the rules. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have that set up too. Like so,
Yeah.
the first time you join a chat,
Yeah,
like,
I
there's
think you
rules
have
you
to have
click OK.
those.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
See, and
They may not
that's
include them
weird,
or
right?
anything,
You
but-
have to have them, right? It's
No.
not something you can disable.
I don't have them.
Twitch makes you have that, right?
No, I don't have them.
You don't have them?
No, I just don't fill in the field and it doesn't pop anything up.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Good to know. I learned a thing today. Today I was
Yeah.
today years old.
I think there's a lot of just overthinking when it comes to this kind of topic for
Yeah.
Twitch. And
And I'm a master overthinker, so trust me, I thought about it.
And this is where a lot of people these days get themselves into trouble. They like, you just tend to like over-examine yourself and am I being me? Am I being genuine? Am I being? Is my audience right? Do I need to have an 18+ tag in my like? That's the next kind of level, right? You have people in their title and it says like 18+, and now they're really like hardcore. Like, I don't want you. You're 17 and 9 months. No, you're not allowed in my stream. It's like I don't know. You're on a platform that allows 13+ year old people to hang out and watch content. Maybe you should just like consider that those kinds of people are gonna be around, and just make a stream that you like, and whoever wants to watch it, let them watch it, as long as this falls within the guidelines. I think it's just more harm than good in general when it comes
Honestly,
to
my honest advice would be just stay away from the topic of age. Don't bother bringing up ages. Don't ask people their
Yes.
ages. Don't
yeah.
don't none of that, and then you most likely won't have to worry about it. Yeah, you'll probably get some a couple idiots that'll joke the whole what is this, I'm 12, but like that's just you're gonna have to deal with those people as they come. But I generally find that if you just don't call attention to it, most of the time it won't be a thing.
Yeah. I think everyone should have the mature filter off. I don't think it does any good, and I think it's not. I don't think it's a setting that is anything but to like warn Twitch that you're a little edgy. Which, is that a good idea?
I mean,
do you want to
truthfully,
It's not like you get extra like
Yeah.
lenience if you do that, right? What
No.
does it
Right.
change in terms of what you can do as a content creator?
Nothing.
The answer is nothing.
Yeah.
It changes nothing.
But it also I also feel like it doesn't really like adversely affect you either. Like Twitch doesn't care.
Oh,
well,
no.
the adverse
Baseline.
effects of having it is that people
Have
don't
to
see.
click an extra thing.
Yeah, they have to click an extra thing. They see the mature filter first, and then they get an ad, and then they get you. So it's just like an extra roadblock in the way of getting to your stream.
Yeah.
Although, like we said, what if the mature filter is a way to kind of lure people in, right?
No, maybe
To
the
be like,
wrong
hey,
kind
listen,
of people.
That could
Well,
be.
that depends on
Yeah.
your target
mean,
audience.
If
if
you
you
want to
wanna
do
let-
that, then use the new tag system, which we're going to talk about next, which we should move to.
What a great segue.
What were you going to say, Meats?
I don't even know.
Okay, let's talk
mature,
about-
mature filter is just it's a useless thing that if it makes you feel comfortable doing it, do it, but otherwise it's not serving any specific purpose.
I'd say get comfortable without it. That would be mine, right?
So that's 3 against 1 4. I'll be the devil's advocate. It's okay.
Okay. No, we're all just talking to you, Snazzy. You need to turn it off.
Yeah. This is an intervention. I don't know. This is not a podcast. This is an intervention.
No, I just want people to think about this, and you're a good person for us to talk at for
No,
that,
I
for that
understand, yeah.
perspective. So, because I've thought about this a lot. I streamed forever with the mature content thing on, and I turned it off. I don't know, within the last year, and
Nothing changed.
yeah, it didn't change anything. So,
Yeah.
but so let's talk about the big one. This is a really huge change to Twitch, and I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked that it actually happened.
Flabbergasted.
So, I don't remember the year. It was somewhere between 2016 and 2018. Twitch came out with a tag system where you could label your stream any tag that you wanted. You could make custom tags. It was basically hashtags, just like Twitter, all that stuff. You just put it in, I think you put it in the title at the time. And you could make whatever custom hashtag that you wanted. And the search within Twitch, there's a search bar that almost no one uses because it's pointless. Would find the tags, and actually people started searching for tags. So people would be like curious about finding a streamer maybe talking about aliens or ghosts, and you could type that in, and the stream who tagged themselves with aliens or ghosts or whatever would come up when they were live. And this was actually this is a major impact on the platform. The reason is there are so many people actually using Twitch. If one person types in the tag that only you have and finds you, that means that person's now found you. That's discovery. And a lot of people are bored. They're typing things in that search bar sometimes. And the reason, then they changed it. Twitch took it all away, and they made only tags that they had pre-selected that you could put onto your stream. And you had to everybody basically just didn't use it because it's like, you just forget. You're like, oh, I'm playing this game now. I don't want backseating. I gotta put no backseating. Or, the tags were just too small. They were like, I don't know. It was just nothing. It was like a nothing burger situation with these.
I'm sorry, nothing burger?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a term.
That's a thing.
That's a term.
So.
No, I want to hear about this nothing burger.
No, don't get caught up. So.
Nothing.
Then recently,
Nothing.
when did this happen? 2 weeks ago? This happened really recently.
Yeah, it was within the last month.
Yeah, then Twitch kind of improved the whole entire tag system. I don't know, like years later now, they're like, oh, we're bringing the old tag system back, except for it gets its own field, and it's searchable. And when people click on the tags, you find all the streams of the people using that tag. So if anybody's using IQ as a tag, and somebody clicks on that tag, it will sort all the streamers who have IQ as a tag in their stream. Or if you use, I don't know, whatever game you're playing. This is actually a really great change for people who are doing like retro games and they don't know where to be. You know, they don't know if they should be in the retro category so be in the retro category and just put the name of the console and the name of the game that you're playing as tags. And then people can, if they search for the game you're playing, it will come up in the tag search. You are now discoverable by the search bar if you're playing Wind Waker and you have the Wind Waker tag. You don't even have to be in the game category.
So I have a question, Sonny, because I haven't fiddled with this yet. If you're searching for it on Twitch, like if you just search like, I don't know, redhead, does that search both games and tags in the same search bar?
Yeah. If you type in the
that's
search,
what I thought,
you'll get.
I wanted to make sure.
You'll get channel users, tags, and then like stream titles and stuff like that.
Yeah, titles
Right.
as well. Yeah.
So,
Which I feel like that's what a lot of people were doing anyway, right? A lot of people were like, who cares about tags? They'll put whatever relevant thing they needed in the title or whatever catchy thing they wanted people to know in the title, right?
yeah.
So I feel like for the longest time, tags really just didn't matter. It was again one of those things where you chose to do it, right? And
Yeah.
if that if the one person was bored searching tags, found you that way, cool. But like it wasn't a really big thing. And I know for a fact because like when it comes to backseating, right? People come in and backseat and be like, oh yeah, like you'll ask them, well, it says no backseating in the tags. Nobody reads them. They backseat anyway. It doesn't matter, right? So,
Yeah. This is a massive change. And the more we all start using it as streamers, the more viewers will recognize the system and be able to find the content that they're looking for. This is something that all streamers need to utilize and like get the tags and use the tags if your stream is changing content. If you're having a discussion on something, if you're watching videos, you got to update those tags. That's a very, very good way for people to find you.
Yeah, I think too, like utilizing the tags in a way to point out interesting things about yourself, right? Like even if you're, just bearded, right? Snazzy
Yeah,
bearded, right? Like highly an artist, like whatever. So, and like you don't even have to be doing something that's correlates with that current content, but having some of those things like I relate to this type of person. They can just type that in. I prefer this, this type of, interest group person. They can find it. And I think that's really, really nice. And I don't know if they've done this yet. I haven't fiddled around with tags as much as I want to, and I'm sorry for that. But I'd be curious if they actually show how many people are using a tag, kind of like a hashtag in Twitter, etc.
Yes.
They are doing that, correct?
What you can do is click on the tag, and you see all the streams that have it.
So you can kind of get an idea if you're trying to think about like, is beard or bearded better?
Yeah.
You can actually search that yourself
Yeah.
and
Or-
try to determine where you want to fit in terms of those numbers.
Yep.
I think they've also done away with limits, right? So you can actually have as many tags as you want.
No, it's
so you
10
Can, you can
tags.
put both 10
10.
now?
10.
It used to be 5, right? So
Yeah.
they've upped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 custom tags. Yeah. So I don't know, I think the tag thing is actually the first real step towards discovery as a streamer on Twitch. There's another change that's coming, but it hasn't come out yet, so we'll save it for another episode. But
Wait, so you mean that increasing ad revenue if you run really long ads in the middle of your stream is not a good way to improve discovery?
who would
You
have
can
thought?
you can discover which Adobe ads get on your nerve and like that you never want to see again after like 5 rounds.
Yeah. The tags are only as good as the streamers using them and the viewers looking for them. So this is such a new thing. I feel like it's going to take a while, but Twitch could be a very different kind of platform in viewer behavior very quickly. Over the next year, we could see a massive change just because of this in discoverability for people. And one of the things Twitch said they're going to do is take trending tags and put them on the front page. So you may see a strip with a tag saying hashtag, whatever, something is like trending and a lot of streamers are all doing something like a meta or something's going on. You can find all the people doing that in that moment on the front page. So now, not a lot of users use the front page, but I'd say enough people do that will have an impact eventually whenever they start doing that.
Is our new goal to get IQ and G star trending?
Yeah. Everybody use the IQ hashtag IQ. Yeah. So I think I'm just excited because I feel like this is the first real step towards discoverability on Twitch, because now the search bar went from useless to actually useful.
More useful.
Way more useful.
More useful than it was before.
If you want to find somebody playing a Dreamcast game, as long as they've tagged their stream Dreamcast, people can find that now. That's huge. That was impossible.
But are we there yet, though? Are we there to where people have like got on board with the tag system yet? Though I feel like a lot of people still don't.
They don't know about it.
use
Yeah,
them yet.
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of new.
It's
still.
brand new. Yeah, it's gonna take
It
a
has
minute.
potential, though.
But it was working this way when the first tag system was released. People did search for that stuff, and those hashtags worked. So I have faith that it will get figured out and people will use it. And people are used to other platforms too. I mean, the hashtags are common on all other social media platforms, and so Twitch actually making a good progress towards the search bar functioning the way other sites function, and how people search for content is a good thing. Because new users.
I will point out.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I will point out that the implementation of tags in Twitch is different than in other platforms, right? So if you're on Twitter, right, you just put hashtag in the tag, right? So someone asked about this. You have to actually manually adjust them.
Yeah,
typically in your creator dashboard.
Yeah.
So it's not something that you would add into the title necessarily. I still don't think Twitch searches titles, but if you add it it's a separate section. So that does differentiate it from, your typical social media. But I would be really curious if this has some sort of implication on their algorithm, because I feel like Twitch really has struggled to have what I consider an interesting and good algorithm for discoverability, a la Facebook or YouTube, where it really does a good job kind of or TikTok even, showing you places that you might be interested. I don't think Twitch has that good algorithmic discoverability yet. And I'm wondering if they're going to start using some of these data to develop that. And I'd be excited if they do that.
It definitely gives them
right now.
Go ahead.
It mostly operates on game titles, right? So like it's whatever, like the thing that it shows you on the front page is based on games you watched, right? So like the up until recently, right? Like that's
Yeah.
how the algorithm is based solely on the kind of game you watch, which
Right, but
for
that's not a
variety
great way
streamers
of
is
doing
not
it.
great.
It's a terrible way of doing it. Yeah.
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 Because there's lots of like Soulsborne streamers that I really like, and some that I'm just like, oh my god, no! Why would you even show me this? This is not anything I'm interested in. So there's so many aspects of the content that's here, the streams that are here, that really need to be highlighted through the algorithm that Twitch just does a really poor job of doing right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because they do have a stat for like channels that viewers have in common with you, and I think that would be like better to use
Yeah.
for suggested streams than just like, oh, you watched other people play this game before.
I would definitely 100% click on anything that said Highly and Pickles recently watched
Yeah.
X because I trust Highly and Pickles to have watched something entertaining.
It is true, though. This gives Twitch a new set of data points that they can use to kind of figure out activity and what people are streaming and content and categorize us a little bit. So to that end, it's actually very important that you, streamer who's listening to this, figure out who you are in the sense of keywords. I might even suggest, like, go grab a notepad or document or something and write down keywords that you think are very good at describing you, because these can't be like, you can't write a sentence in there and multiple words get joined as one big word. So try to figure out good ways for you that you think people might be typing in eventually to find you and your kind of content. And this can be kind of hard for some streamers. I think people are going to struggle a little bit defining themselves, because we all know enough about ourselves to maybe pick those words, but then once you do, you think, well, is that like, can I really, should I define myself as funny? Like, it feels weird to be like, I'm funny. So you got to maybe set aside your judgment of yourself a little bit, enough to be able to be like, okay, I'm funny enough. I'm going to put funny,
For a moment, and I'm wondering if anyone else got some of this, because I briefly got some of this. I would get like an email sometimes after my stream, and there was like, someone in your streams described you as XYZ. Did anyone else get one of these?
Oh, that's
things?
the feedback button.
The
Yeah.
feedback.
The feedback button.
We want to move
If
topics.
you're
Yeah.
struggling, yeah, I would suggest if you're struggling to identify some tags, maybe pull it from your feedback button if you get any of those.
The only bad part about that is the feedback gives you like 4 options or something when you click it, and so it's not like people can like be like, I really like her funny outfits, and they don't type anything. It's like 4 boxes that says this person's gameplay is good, this person's fun to talk to.
I think I got like relatable or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it gives you something if you're struggling to think of something. It's a starting point, right? So if people identify me as one of these things, it's probably going to be something that's tagged fairly frequently. Maybe I'll tag myself with relatable, or humorous, or high level gameplay or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's something honestly you should be doing anyway. Like if you notice like during your stream that there's certain things that happen, right? There's certain patterns that emerge, you can then, use that because tags carry across, all game genres, right? So you could be in 2 different genres even in the same night, but you can keep the same tag, so that way if people are searching for something very specific, they can find you, even if you're moving categories around, which if you're if you're a variety streamer, that is kind of important. So
this would be good for you,
it's a positive change.
Like, you need to keep the Gundam tag or Gunpla or something, because you do it, but on a schedule. So like, you want people to find you because you do it, but it's not like every stream. So that's true. I would say you need some anchor terms, like to figure out what you want people to know you as. Even if you're not doing it that moment, maybe you leave that tag on there.
That's the new meta, anchor terms.
Yeah, anchor terms. Yeah, anchor tags.
Anchor tags.
Yeah. So okay, so the little mismatch of other stuff that we were going to talk about does kind of feed into what we already brought up. That feedback, that new feature on Twitch, there's like a button to get feedback. So I think what Meat said was perfectly good. We need, you should encourage your viewers to click on that thing and give feedback. Everybody watching this on Twitch right now, if you have a moment, click that button and choose one of the feedback options. And then that's kind of all you have to do, is just kind of a call to action so that people will use it. Because it is helpful, to have some interaction with your audience in that way. One of the hardest things to get from your viewers is why they like you. I mean, what they
Although I
like
think
about you. Like,
the feedback thing is isn't that restricted though to affiliates and above?
we don't
I don't
have
think
it.
so.
We don't have it on the stream. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
here.
'cause
There is no
I think if you're
feedback
not
button.
yeah, there's
So
no feedback.
just imagine there's a feedback button.
Yeah. Imagine.
And click it for us. No, I just think I was just doing that as an example for what you guys could do on your stream. Just take a moment to do a call to action. So yeah, but true. Yeah. Oh man. So
Not everyone had it at this point. Is it still
no,
limited
it's not
rollout?
on our stream. It's not on the IQ stream because we're
No, I mean like affiliates and above. I thought affiliates and above all had it.
probably, yeah. And most people are affiliate if they're streaming enough. So, was there any other updates to Twitch recently? Otherwise, I want to just kind of have a general discussion about Twitch as a platform and it's the value of other things. One of the things. Go ahead.
The only other one was the whole multi-streaming thing, which was again a nothing burger, but
The multi-streaming thing, I feel
that's
like we
the
can't
buzz
get
now, yeah.
into because I can't be honest on this podcast.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of topics that I think would be really interesting to talk about. There's one that I think to rabbit hole, and we won't rabbit hole today, but maybe like tease for another week. I think we should talk about things like TwitchCon and the pros and cons of engaging in TwitchCon. Can we do that?
I mean, we totally can.
That's a new thing that's popped up, right? TwitchCon's back. We're doing it again. Should you do it? Why
Speaking
not?
of which,
Why?
I will see you all.
I've been to multiple TwitchCons. So
Let's save it. Let's save it for next time.
Yeah,
I think it should be a deep dive in cons
It
and
probably should. Yeah, it's yeah.
teasing
Anyway,
for next week.
maybe
guys.
maybe after TwitchCon when Snazzy comes back, because he'll be fresh on his mind, the experience.
Oh boy, it'll be so
Then-
fresh.
Then
Oh, Snazzy, you go to TwitchCon?
Yeah.
yeah. So and I'll come down and we'll have food together, Snazzy. But that's
Yeah,
a
there
whole
you
other thing. If you guys are going to TwitchCon, I'll get this out of the way. We are going to do kind of a meet and greet with IQ members. We're trying to figure out a good place to go, restaurant, and what day and all of that. So as it gets closer to TwitchCon, if you're in the IQ Discord, we'll probably create a channel for it, and we can all talk about whoever's going to TwitchCon. So, okay, so the go live notifications is the next kind of thing on the list. So notify. Maybe we should broaden this a little bit. We have a little bit of time. We could probably just dig into this one enough. How important are notifications in general for when you're live? Which ones do you guys bank on the most?
Honestly, Discord.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I go Discord, Twitter. I Discord, Twitter it.
Discord,
Half
Twitter.
the time, it seems like again, I don't know how the system at Twitch works, but I feel like most times Twitch seems to forget that I have notifications on for certain folks because they'll start a stream and I won't see any notification. Although obviously I'm not necessarily always 100% paying attention to the screen, especially if it's on in the background. But very rarely do I see a go live notification actually pop up. Like to me, I actually usually find out somebody's streaming is if I look over in Discord and they got the little purple lamp.
Yep.
Do you have
Same.
notifications turned on?
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. Because I see them occasionally, periodically. I see them pop up. Yeah.
I love that there was a little notification sound in the background when you said that.
That
It
was
like
my
perfect-
phone. Yeah,
Perfect
great.
timing.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been better.
Notifications, I mean, Discord, I think, is key. The place. The people who really like you and want to make sure they don't miss out on what's going on. That's what they joined your Discord so they could be a part. Really, that's the deepest part of your community, right? So the go live notifications on Twitch, do you guys see them? How often do you feel like you've seen those things? Those little boxes that appear in the corner, says so and so went live and has a little picture.
I see them all the time, but not when people go live. to
That's
Snazzy's
what I
point.
found too. They don't seem to be well aligned.
Yeah, they're not.
I see them from
I'll-
people that I don't even know that I don't even remember following. Like,
I've
to be
definitely seen a notification pop up that somebody was live, and then I click on it to go to their stream, and they're ending stream because they've been on for 5 hours.
oh, jeez.
But I would say Discord emails are that troublesome too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if you get mentioned in a
Yeah.
Discord email, it does not send straight away.
No, it'll be the
actually
next
delays.
day.
Yeah, and you're like, what the heck?
True.
So like that's why I support it with Twitter too, is because people are kind of constantly hanging on Twitter, but Twitter also doesn't have immediate algorithmic like presentation. So I do struggle with the like really great timely dissemination of like, hey, streaming. There's nothing perfect that I can think of.
Yeah, in general, chat's asking what we're talking about. In general, we're trying to figure out the best way to approach telling people when you're live that you're live, and the kind of the downfalls from using certain platforms. Definitely, like, oh man, Twitter's the worst. I go to Twitter and it'll be like, so and so, hey, by the way, I'm streaming right now, and then it'll be like 17 hours ago. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, that was yesterday's stream. Yeah.
No,
So
I've had that happen on Twitter a lot, where
Yeah.
like I'll come across a tweet a day late and be like, oh yeah, I was streaming 6 hours ago. I'm like, oh, they're probably not on anymore.
yeah, they're not. They're
Whoops.
definitely not on anymore. So, yeah, the notifications thing is kind of like, I think a lot of people put a little bit either too much stock or not enough into this whole thing, and they do nothing. Like a lot of people just go live and they will do nothing. They'll just go live and hope people show up. I think that's not right. I think you should probably put some effort into like having a Discord where you tell people, hey, bots. One of the things on this topic is some bots can't tag at everybody anymore in Discord. So, for instance, I use Zapier to send a message when I'm live, especially for the IQ podcast, over to my Discord. It's telling my community, hey, that we're doing the podcast over in the IQ channel. That bot will say add everyone, but it won't actually send the message, and it won't be highlighted properly. So using bots to send messages to Discord is becoming quite, I don't know, unstable at best,
Yeah.
unpredictable. I think manual notifications for Discord are the 100% safest way to make sure people know when you're going live, and that you should use a Discord, number one, for that kind of communication.
Right.
I think Twitter's okay.
But that's the issue, right? That's the issue. You're really only reaching that small group of people
Yeah.
that are actually in your Discord.
True.
And that's where it gets really challenging.
Yep.
So what I kind of, one way to fix this that I know, including myself, struggles with, if you have a regular schedule,
Yeah.
Yeah.
people will kind of know when to expect you live. That certainly helps. And I know that's like a tip that people always tell you, but that's one of the rationales for it, right? If you always stream at these times, the people who have seen you before and know that you are consistent in your schedule are going to expect you to be live.
Yeah.
And that's really helpful.
Yeah. You can also do what Chad is suggesting, where you could create a role in your Discord that opts into getting announcements. That's one way to go about it, so that the bot could tag a role, and it's not an add everybody, and that will probably still work.
Speaking of it, as if prophetic, I actually just got a go live notification from somebody who's actually just went live, and the notification was I'll 1v1 your mom. So like clearly system works sometimes, just not all the time.
Wait, who's 1v1ing moms? What?
Yeah.
I will say this,
to speak to
Go ahead.
Meat's point about the limited number of people in your Discord, I think you'll get higher engagement out of Discord than on Twitter,
Yeah.
just in
Absolutely.
general.
Oh yeah,
'cause
yeah.
You can have like 1,000 followers on Twitter, and then like 2 people will click through on a going live notification. But if they're in your Discord, the likelihood that they'll show up because of the notification, I think, is a lot higher.
Yeah.
Well,
No, and
it's
I
also-
totally agree with you.
It's what Twitter chooses to show people, right? As I said, I would love if Twitter showed me go live notifications, ahead of everything else, but usually it doesn't. Usually gets around to it 6 hours later when I've scrolled down like half the page, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing is with Discord, there may be some benefit to having a personalized message and not a bot sending your go live notification in Discord because just, I don't know, personalizing a little bit can actually be kind of a helpful thing. It makes people kind of, I don't know, there's some value, and I'm having trouble figuring out how to articulate it. But I think
I don't know how to articulate it either, but I agree. Like whenever there's bot announcements that somebody's going live, like I tune them out like almost immediately.
yeah, but if
But
it's
if
like a
somebody does a
personal
manual
message,
one-
There's so many
hey
of them,
everybody, I hope you're having a good day. Today I want to hang out with you guys on Twitch, and I'm going live right now. Like it's just like more thought.
Well,
Yeah, you have to read.
like
You have to comprehend the sentence.
it also kind of informs like the level of energy that the stream is going into that day or whatever.
True.
Or,
Yeah.
So usually I just add everyone with some
With
sort
an
of
emote or
picture, and
something,
usually,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, right.
usually
Now.
like one word. I usually just go, "Hey,
No.
we."
yeah.
But I have,
Well, yeah,
I literally
sometimes-
have a go live channel, right? So I put any of my go live announcements in that one channel.
Yeah.
So when they see it highlighted, they know it's there. But yeah, I think that personalized message is more receptive.
But that's your personality in a way, like that. So it's your personalized message. It's kind of like I don't know. It's
I
cute.
think
It's
the
good.
problem with bots is people recognize it's a bot and they've seen
Yeah.
so many other bots, you know, saying basically something along the same lines as
well, they
your bot
instantly
saying.
register that it's not
And
real.
yeah, you kind of glaze over it. You know, your brain's like, oh yeah, I've heard this 6 times today. You know, whereas a personal message actually have to sit down and read it and figure out what it's.
And it doesn't even have to be like a good message. Like sometimes I'll just at everyone gaming and then put a link.
Yeah.
And like that's
Yeah,
all they
just
need to know
At
that
everyone,
I'm gaming.
Eggplant emoji, sweat emoji, and then yeah, perfect. Let's get in there, guys.
GG. Mature filter.
Yeah. Mature
emoji.
filter on. Let's go.
Mature filter. Oh.
I do find that pictures tend to improve engagement too. Like
Yeah.
people are
Yeah,
and like
okay.
people have done it in Facebook forever,
Twitter.
right? And anytime they want to post something and get more attention, you add a picture.
Yeah.
Right. So I think if you have the moment to just snap a picture of your dog or your eyeball or whatever, like just posting a picture to a go live announcement, I do think improves engagement too.
Yeah.
A
absolutely.
screen cap of what your Discord sees or what your OBS sees that's a great way to
Yep.
have a picture on there. That's really easy to do. You just take a screenshot. Like
True.
it's easy.
One of the things I would say probably people shouldn't do is use like YouTube Shorts and TikTok to announce that they're live.
Yeah. I find that to be cringy.
It usually
Yeah.
takes too long for
Well, you
your
have to
posts.
sit through it, right? That's one of those things where like how much is somebody willing to sit through before they get to the the information. that they're
Here's
looking
the
for.
the 15-second pre-stream before the stream.
Stream.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I guess next week we could maybe talk about the multi-streaming thing a little bit because we should talk about Twitter and or TikTok and whether or not you should multi-stream and the stuff that is safe for me to talk about, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? We need suggestions
know.
for podcast topics. So
Yep.
I wouldn't
Throw-
say
throw
much
it
on the
at
whole
us.
multi-streaming thing. 'Cause I think
Just
it's
stay
not
quiet.
useful.
yeah.
I really think a good topic would be talking about cons and get-togethers and things like that. I
Yeah,
really
we'll
do
do
think
it.
we
We'll
should
do
talk
it.
about
We
that.
got to wait until after TwitchCon though, so that we can get it fresh from Snazzy.
No, there might be people on the fence
before and
about
after.
going.
Before and after. Oh, I don't know.
We could,
after,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think there might be people on the fence about going, and if we talk about it, we may change their minds one
Talk
way
about
or
nothing
another.
burgers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need
What
an
good, yeah.
explanation about what a nothing burger is. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a burger with nothing.
Yeah.
But then how is it a burger?
Exactly.
It's not. That's the
It's
point.
not a burger. Yeah.
So then it's just nothing.
It's
It
just
wouldn't be a
nothing.
nothing
Yeah.
burger. It'd
Yeah.
just be nothing.
It's just nothing.
We'll have to explain this to Meats later.
You're such a mom.
Sorry.
Okay,
Oh
boomer.
boy! All right, I'm gonna do the end the recording session for the podcast, and we'll hang out for a little bit. If you guys need to go, eat your meats, highly and pickles, Snazzy. You guys can take off anytime. Thanks for hanging out, but we'll hang out with you guys in chat here, and try to answer some questions post stream. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube or Spotify has video now, by the way. So if you guys you can watch this on Spotify. Thank you guys. Don't forget to do the thing that Eat Your Meats is going to say.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell button. Join us. Join us.
Go to Infinite.
She hasn't gotten to do that in like how many weeks?
I did it last week, actually.
InfiniteQuality.live. InfiniteQuality.live. Okay. All right. All right. The recording is done. I can stop the multi-stream. I am.